We'd like to welcome you all to another edition of the Side Dive Podcast.
6-0
Boys are
edition.
back with another episode. You will notice there's just the two of us tonight. Yes. BJ has been saddled with some work travel stuff, so he is, maybe if he has a moment, he might be able to pop in here and holler at us right quick. But it's going to be your boys talking about the undefeated Iowa State Cyclones football team. Amazing.
Yes.
I mean, it's not considering the way they've been playing, but it's amazing to be sitting in this position halfway through the season.
Yep.
I mean, never in our lifetime.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just gonna say. It's like,
so. I mean, it's for a lot of generations. This is a first.
Yeah.
I mean,
anybody we know.
There's scores of fans. I mean,
Yes.
When was it?
1938.
So you're talking people in their 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, my dad turns 83 this year, and he was not alive.
Yeah.
So you're talking, 86 years ago is when that was. So there are thousands and thousands of Cyclone fans who never even heard of this.
So since you brought this up, I saw, I almost had to comment about it too. This girl posted on Twitter. She's an Iowa State fan. She's fired up, but it was something to the effect of just waiting for the other shoe to drop. And she was a 2017 grad. And I'm like, jeez.
Huh?
Yeah. But it's like, I don't feel like that at all. I have.
Well, first of all, she's too young to be feeling like that.
Right. Yes, exactly. It's like, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. That's why.
Yeah.
I almost said something, but I'm like, I'm just going to come off sounding like old guy, Yeah, you haven't been through what we've been through, But
hey, I tell her to go research Jim Walden.
Yeah, Jim Craner. Yes. Every Donnie Duncan. At least Donnie Duncan.
Yeah. Go reach them. Go research them, and then come back and change your statement.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, but I'm just loving it. Just the way this team plays, it's just it's fun. Having fun.
Absolutely, and Rocktober is alive and well. Just a steady hand, just doing what he does. But I mean, let's get to it. It was your boys heading to Morgantown to play the West Virginia Mountaineers, and they broke out the coal rush uniforms, and they had the coal miners come into the paraded them into the game.
That was cool. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
That was awesome. I love that. I love that for them, because I mean, hell, they're probably working. So how many games they actually get a chance to go to?
Yep.
So that was a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And then it turned not so beautiful. It was, you call it a blackout beatdown. And yeah, it was another one of those times where I felt no problem. And you know me.
Yeah.
I'll text in the middle of the game when I think there's a problem.
Yeah. Even the way it started, they 75-yard drive, 14 plays, they go up 7-0. Then we get the big pass play to Higgins, missed the field goal. Some years or a lot of years, that's when you're like, oh, it's going to be one of those nights.
Pre-2017.
Yeah, be one of those nights. And but I never felt like that, and obviously the team didn't feel like that either.
Like I say, maybe someday, when I drop the raw footage, I'll drop some of my text too. You all will understand. I have some. I'm pretty boisterous during these games. To these two, probably like, man, I just want to watch the fucking game. And this man is tweeting through the whole damn game, and that's what I do. Because I'm sitting here by myself, and it kind of soothes me. It's like Linus's blanket. I just wrap it around myself and around my texts and get my feelings out there.
Oh yeah, sitting at the Baylor game, I was with Ron and I kept looking at my watch. He's like, everything okay? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's good. It's just William. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, that's what I do, people.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have a live watch some game.
Yeah.
Where
we got a bar full of people and a couple games I tried keeping up with you. I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up.
Oh no! Especially if I'm rolling.
Yeah.
If I'm rolling, this is gonna be bing, bing,
yeah.
bing, 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 bing.
Then I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, but this week, you know what? I kind of just kicked back and enjoyed. I texted about a few of the things I wasn't happy with, but for the most part, I could run the nitpicking thing about down there, but no, I wasn't. I mean, what we always talk about needing to happen actually happened.
Dude, I know. So that's what I was thinking. For my MVP, I picked the offensive line, and I mean, you could go either side of the ball, but I was impressed with the offensive line. I mean, fourth quarter, we ran 18 run plays and threw one pass, and the pass was because they were pissed off because West Virginia called that timeout.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, we look like Michigan last year against Penn State. Like, whatever. Stop our run. And I mean, you put O-line dominant. I mean, that's the kind of performance we've been begging for from the line for the last 2-3 years. I mean, imagine the line blocking like that, like back when we had Brees.
Yeah.
I
mean, 2020 they were pretty good for him, but yeah.
Yeah. Like what we saw Saturday was just them at their finest.
Well, I think pretty much. I mean, I think they've been solid every game this year. Because they take a lot of heat. I think they've just been progressing, and obviously it helps getting Travis back. I always forget his name because there's so many Jalen's on this team. So for some reason I always forget his last name because of that.
We're just gonna call everybody Jalen.
But yeah, no, they've been good, and even Barrett got hurt, and Bohr came in for him, number 70, and
that was something I texted about. I was like, I thought it was awesome that he came in a big spot, and then they ran to his side.
Right. Yeah.
Because most people would have thought, nope, they're gonna run right. They're not gonna run left. He just got in here.
Yeah.
And I thought that was great. And the way when they got to the sidelines, everybody was congratulating him, patting him on the back because they blew open such a hole.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that was great. No, I mean, it seems like you can't talk one without the other because the O-line doing their thing allowed for Carson Hansen to do his thing. And, I mean, Iowa State is taking this running back by committee to a whole new level. It seems that whoever gets the majority of the carries this week is going to end up blowing up the spot because, I mean, Carson Hansen looked like Mike Allstott.
That's what I haven't heard. That's a good one.
just bare. I mean, he was just. It was kind of one of those. I mean, he was running so hard.
Yeah.
That it. I mean, it almost seems scary to try to get in front of that.
Yeah, I mean, dude's like, what is he, 6'2", 220 or whatever he is? Yeah. I mean, he's downhill. I mean, he's always before I said Jackson was always forward. I mean, but he's always forward in a different way. I mean,
he's well, in the video game, I have him as my power back.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
He is the power back.
Yeah.
And yeah, Sama was a starter, and then I had when Jackson was there because it was his senior year when the game starts, he was my third down back, and then Hansen was the power back. Yeah. It was that way in the game, especially when you got him on the edge. It was like that. It's like, man, I like his chances, him in the corner.
Dude, so you notice we were running like some toss sweep, and then they ran that option play also to on that fourth down.
Yeah,
that was good. I haven't seen toss sweeps in a long time. I mean, because everybody runs that shotgun RPO.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's something that catches people off guard.
Yeah.
Because like you said, who does tosses anymore?
Yeah.
of any kind. The toss pass is about all you see now.
Yeah.
On the jet sweeps.
Well, they don't run it. I mean, from what I remember, they always run it inside the tackle too. They toss it, but he's always cutting inside the tackle. Did it seem that way to you? Maybe
that's a kind of a style to get the dude lost.
Yeah. Oh, maybe they think it's going outside when they see the toss. So
and then they're over pursuing.
Yeah.
And allows the cutback.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no. What's funny is we were talking about last week picking up Jackson for fantasy football, and I'm like, no, I'm not ready to do that.
you were right about the running back by committee,
And this is why it's like you got. I mean, for fantasy football purposes, if a team has 3 running backs, they have none. So as of right now, holding on to any of Iowa State's quarterbacks is because you don't know who's going to be the one to go off.
Yeah.
You're just asking for low points. Yeah, it's sure going to get you a few points, and they might even get you a touchdown. But it's playing Russian roulette, trying to figure out which is the one.
Yep.
Yeah, but everybody. I mean, this was a nice game where everybody got involved. Everybody that needed to get involved offensively did. Extremely efficient. 9 of 14 on third down, 2 of 2 on fourth. Didn't have a whole lot of yards. They need a whole lot of yards.
No. That's what's fun. It's just like they're not pressing. They haven't pressed in any game. They just
they're taking what's given them.
Yeah. And when they get that lead, it's they're not trying to.
And now here come they're not trying to blow up the spot.
Right.
And then they just start pounding that rock.
Yeah.
They threw for 265. Rocco was 18 of 26. No picks. They rushed for 129. Was the total. Carson Hansen had 96 of it and 3 tutties.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a he'll be Al Bundy telling his kids about his 3 touchdown game at the blackout, at the coal rush.
You just compared him to another white running back. Oh shit!
Because at first, the first thing I thought of was whenever I think of a power back, the first person I always think of is Earl Campbell.
Of course, yep.
But I'm like, it's hard to put anybody in that kind of category.
And since we're talking about behind Campbell as far as power running backs, the next one I would think it would probably be John Riggins. Then there you go. There's another comparison for you, another white running back comparison.
But yeah, I mean, there's not a whole bunch of power backs who are successful.
They get beat up.
Yeah. I mean, being a power back, being a fullback, so those fullbacks who got the longevity, I mean, you're just a de facto lineman.
Yeah.
Getting beat up like that. But hey, hats off for y'all if you can have a long career.
Hey, you brought up Rocco's stats there. Did you happen to see Game Day?
No, I don't even watch that anymore for some reason.
Dude, so yeah, I didn't watch it all. It was like one of the first segments. But Saban was talking about Iowa State, and he was like, talking about how well, we were just talking about how balanced they are, and don't beat we don't beat ourselves. But then when he got to he started talking about Rocco. He's like a few more games, everybody's going to be talking about this kid, and I was like, dang. I mean, and he was adamant about it, and it was just, I don't know, it was cool to hear.
But I mean, but Rocco is an Alabama type of quarterback.
Yeah.
Think of all those quarterbacks prior to having Hurts and Tua, and now Milroe.
Yeah.
All their quarterbacks were just managers.
Yeah.
You exist between the snap and the handoff, and then you make the smart, calculated throws.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a Bama quarterback. I mean, that's right in Nick Saban's wheelhouse. And if you need be, you got feet, you can run.
Yeah, well, dude, they ran the power, the QB power with him. I really don't want to see that. We don't need him running. You
got 3 running backs.
Yeah, I mean, not QB power. I don't care if he gets outside, like he did against Baylor, and gets those first
if
downs.
You need to run out of necessity.
Yeah. So,
but a designed run like that, unless you just know you got them dead to rights, like their way they're lined up, you're like, and he sees it just like, oh shit. Let me make a quick audible, but you got to have that dead to rights. But yeah, no, I agree with you, especially when you're running 3 running backs, sometimes 4.
Yeah,
you don't need.
I mean, it was effective, but
Yeah.
I
mean, absolutely. But you're right. Yeah, you don't need to be running. Hand that shit off and keep it in the air. Your feet should be used for running to the sideline.
Yes. Or running down. Yeah.
after touchdowns.
Running down after you throw another touchdown to Higgins or Noel or
yes.
Bramer. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So Higgins had another big ass day. 102 yards. Noel had the 77 yards and touchdown. 60 of it came on that. I mean, don't know how y'all just keep leaving this dude open over the middle.
I don't think they have a choice.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm expecting at least 2 or 3 of those against Kansas in a few weeks. Because every Kansas game I've watched, that's where they're getting burned. Nobody's going at those corners like you shouldn't.
Dude, that's what that's what I talked about last week. Every time I watched West Virginia, it was getting beat over the top,
Oh, they're getting beat by everybody right down the middle. So yeah, just stay away from them please stay away from them corners, Rocco. Don't even design shit on those edges. Let them be great and have people talk about, hey, they had us on the island and all that shit all they want to, while we're blistering them up the middle with everybody else. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, scored 28 points. Doesn't jump off the page at you. I mean, it was 14 in the second quarter, 14 in the fourth quarter. Iowa State was just on offense. They did what they needed to do, and they didn't they didn't panic. They didn't get flustered at all. I mean, there was no turnovers.
Yeah, the crowd had no effect on that game at all.
Oh, yeah. I mean, for as hype as they were going in, by halftime, that was just that. Because, I mean, granted, it's a 14-10 game at halftime, but it didn't feel that way.
I know, and obviously it didn't feel that way to them either. I mean, because they were like, I mean, it was a game, but
yeah, I mean, it's literally a 4-point game. I mean, but it didn't feel that way. It felt like a 14-point game.
Yep.
It just felt like they were completely out of it, and yeah, and they didn't have a chance.
Dude, I almost put on the rundown. It felt like we took their souls. Like you said, they're in the game, and their crowd doesn't feel like it. Their team doesn't feel like it. So
well, that taking their souls is a whole lot better than that text I put out in the fourth quarter. That was after I typed that, I was like, "Oh, that was awful." I'm not going to repeat it. That'll be in the bloopers reel. But yeah, on the other side of the ball, you only give up 16 points. 10 in the first half, 7 in the first, 3 in the second, and 6 in the fourth.
That was garbage. That was complete garbage time.
I mean, that was late shenanigans. I mean, Garrett Green threw. He was 19 of 32, 206. Had the 1 touchdown and 2 costly picks.
Yep, that was a game.
And he had 10. He was leading rusher, 10 carries for 87.
And those were a lot of those were on. The first half, those broken pass plays, I think he had a 25-yarder and like a 10-yarder, but
yeah. And he had 10 carries. Jaheim White he was 12 of 46 and a touchdown, and Donaldson had 9 rushes for 17 yards. And I was, in such a tight game, I would have thought that they would have given them the ball more. But I guess that's why a lot of their fans want Neil Brown gone.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a lot of that prior to the game, but boy, it really ramped up after.
After his press conference this week, he asked everyone, he's basically like, I mean, he literally said, well, you still had fun though. Talking about the fans, you still had fun though, right? Weren't you entertained? It's just like, oh my gosh, it's just like, dude. That's one thing. Do you remember Campbell's? Because when I heard Neil Brown say that, I remember Campbell's first year, and I think it was first game, lost to Northern Iowa. Packed house, place is sold out, and first thing he says after the game is, at some point we got to stop letting these fans down. And that's something Neil Brown should have been saying, you know, talking about how they showed out and his team didn't show up.
Absolutely not. I can't remember how many yards rushing per game that they came into the.
Well, they almost rushed for 400 against Oklahoma State. It was like 359 or something like that.
Well, yeah. So they ended up with almost a 5-yard average, but I mean they got 150 yards on the ground, and not the way Iowa State plays defense and the way they run the ball, you would think that should have been more.
Hey, do you have what their running backs average per carry though? Did you say the one dude had 9 carries for 17 yards?
Well, yeah, one had 3.8, one had 1.9.
Okay, yeah, so
obviously inflated by Green's 10 for 87.
Yes.
Was the overall average.
Right.
But I think the contributing factor to that was there's no fear of the passing game.
Yeah.
There's zero fear because a lot of the times, if you look, instead of having the 3 safeties back there, you only had the 2. And Freeler was down by the line most of the game.
Yeah, he's probably. Yeah. If he's creeping
and
down.
Part of that is a spy.
Yeah.
And then part of it is you just didn't need him because, I mean, there was nothing to fear. I mean, their longest pass was 24 yards. I mean, we had 3 dudes with a longer catch.
Oh.
than their longest.
I said last week, he's a 58% passer. You know, I mean, dude's a great athlete, but he's not a quarter. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So, the defense just had a great game. All the accolades that people piled upon the defense, they just, for anybody who doubted what the people were saying, there was the evidence.
That was another thing that Country Roads podcast I listened to last week. They were saying how our defense is just because of who we played, why we're playing so well, and yeah, there you go, buds.
Yeah. So yeah, it was a nice dominating performance for the Clones all the way around. No special teams gaffes, So I mean, missed the one field goal.
Yeah.
But I mean, we punted twice.
Yeah.
Each punter got one. They only punted twice, but they also had turnovers. So it's like they punted 4 times. But no, it was all 3 facets showed up and did what they were supposed to do. Coaching was on point. I remember them mentioning Moser getting plays from the video game.
Yeah.
That got brought up. And mercifully, you know what did not get brought up? The nicknames. The nicknames.
Oh, no, he said he dropped an Action Jackson, if that's what you're talking about.
Well, that was not as bad as the Dancing Hanson.
Yeah. No, he didn't say that one, but he dropped.
But he did say Action Jackson?
A couple times.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's hard for a black person to hear Jackson and not say Action. That was our movie back in the day. Yeah, you're not gonna hear a black person my age hear the last name Jackson and not want to say the word action. This is. You can say Action, or you can say Janet, Miss Jackson if you're nasty. Or those are about the only things that are synonymous with the name Jackson. mean, those are more popular than saying Michael. So. But anyway, once again, I digress. I got off on one there. Where's my damn notebook? Oh, right here. So, score-wise, finished 28-16. You were closest. You had 27-13.
No, that might have been. Oh, really? For this game? I thought I had like.
Oh, nope. I wrote it on something else, didn't I?
I was like 29-24. So I was close. I was close on. Yeah.
Of course, I can't find what I fucking wrote it on.
Do you remember? I remember VJ was. He was 28-27 Cyclones.
Was he?
Yep.
Oh, here we found it. One of these unopened envelopes. This is for AAA. Okay, you had it 30-9. I had it 38-3.
What?
And
Dude, what game you on? No. Not from West Virginia. Not from West Virginia.
Really?
You said 38-9, dude. We all predicted close games.
You did? Man, what the hell am I doing? Oh, I didn't write the name by it. That's right. I got it right here. You had it 29-24.
Yep.
VJ had it 28-27.
There we go. Yep.
And I had it 24-23.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah. So we all had close games. We were wrong. And shit, they beat them bigger than our margin of victories combined.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did not hit the over. The spread was 14, wasn't it?
No, the spread was 3.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
Oh, this week's spread is 14.
Yeah, it's creeping up there.
So yeah, cover the spread. That's always a good thing. Yeah, man, it was great to just. I mean, another night game. I mean, maybe they should stop playing us at night. But I quietly just listened to Sweet Caroline when it was all over. By then, I was exhausted, and I just quietly listened to Sweet Caroline as it faded out, and
wasn't so quiet here.
Well, I mean, you had a watch party, and you all hyped up, and
yeah.
Anybody that's been in the side dive knows it ain't ever quiet.
Dude,
it's only quiet when the lights go out. If the lights is on in the basement, it ain't gonna be quiet.
Yeah,
it's just not. We got to schedule. We got to schedule something to get some of the fellas.
Yep.
In there.
Yep.
Playoff game.
It's on.
But you know what? The teams who have been in this spot before know you just got to turn the page and get ready for the next one, because the next one's coming. And as you keep winning, you're going to start getting everybody's best shot.
Yep.
And here comes the team that a mere 2 years ago, their fans told us that they were going to run the Big 12. Now, unfortunately, they left out a few words. It should have meant we are going to get run in the Big 12. Because not only have you not taken over, you have done less than not taking over. And now here comes the Golden Knights. That gold is extremely tarnished, or one might call it a fool's Golden Knights. As they come to town on a night game, already should send a red flag to every Golden Knights fan. They come in to Jack Trice. It's going to be high of 74, low of 40 something on Saturday.
Another good day.
See how them Florida boys deal with that a little more chilly temperature than what they're used to. It's over under is 47 and a half. Actually, that's where it opened. It is now 49 and a half, and the spread is 14. So yeah, the matchup predictor on ESPN gives Iowa State a 78.2 chance of winning it all. So I don't want to sound cocky or confident, but I feel this is going to be another game where you will not be getting those tweets from me or these texts from me. I'm just, shout out to KJ Jefferson because he can play. I mean, we've all seen him.
They benched him.
Well, is he coming back or is he gone?
Oh, I don't think he left. I don't think he's still there.
I mean, is he gone from that? Is he gone for this? Are they benching him for the season or
no?
Was it just that game?
Well, no, he's like he's one of those 5th year, 6th year guys. So he spent all those years at Arkansas prior. So this is the dude we know has got some talent. You're not going to be a starting QB in the SEC for an Arkansas if you can't play a little. I don't think he's going to start. I don't think he's going to start. Nope.
Huh.
I did see a little bit of Gus Malzahn's press conference, and last week they played their second, third string quarterback. But the way he talked, he really didn't bring up Jefferson. He was talking about the
EJ Colson.
Yep, and then the other guy. I think the other guy's name's Brown. But that's who the guy. That's the quarterbacks he was talking about in his press conference. So who knows? I mean, maybe we'll see him, but
see if I can dig it up on the interwebs.
Because they're another one of those teams. I think they had like 27 transfers, and everybody. I mean, they had a lot of people picking them for the championship, the Big 12 championship.
Yeah. Never understood that.
Yeah.
I mean, but then again, there's a lot of people.
Well,
a lot of people were saying Kansas was too.
Because they had a lot of dudes that were like SEC transfers and highly rated guys. So kind of like Florida State, their transfer deal hasn't worked out for them this year either. Because they had 5 guys. They had 5 guys that have already left the team this year.
So Ja'Carry Brown is apparently going to get the start.
Okay. Yeah,
but we could end up seeing either of the other two.
Oh yeah, for sure. Why wouldn't you?
Well, as far as hopefully it's just for an audition for next season because they're getting their ass whipped so bad.
Yep.
But
I mean, they're one of the they're a very highly rated rush offense. They can't throw it, but they got dudes that can run it. Because PJ Harvey, that guy's a dude. They're running back.
Yes. Why are you doing this? Why are you not giving me what I want. Just trying to look at something, and you're not cooperating at all. No, but yes, the run game is where it's at. Right now, they are sitting at 3-3 and 1-2 in the conference.
Yep.
Why is it doing this? Fine, thank you. But they lost. They won their first three, granted up against some weaker opponents, and they have lost their last three. They got beat up by Colorado, and they kind of and Florida and Cincinnati squeaked by them. But let's be honest, Florida stinks. They're terrible, and Cincinnati is hot and cold.
Yeah, since they're playing a lot better than they were last year, but they I mean, it's one of those. It was an ugly game. I watched some of that UCF Cincinnati game, and it was just Cincinnati made it ugly. And that Brown that was playing, he's a big, very athletic dude. He did okay, but he just looks like one of the.
They ran for 196 yards against Cincinnati. Harvey had 94 and Brown had 84. They had 17 and 16 carries. So, and then Brown was 13 and 20 for 207 and a touchdown. They did lose 2 fumbles. Fumbled 3 times overall, but lost 2 of them. So looks like they could have a little fumble-rooski issues. But I'm not concerned. I mean, one, I don't think that their defense is just going to be able to keep up.
So I agree, but I think one of the biggest things is for some reason it feels like their team has like a Baylor vibe. Like we're not quite sure if we want to play for this coach or not. So, their season hasn't gone the way they wanted. Bunch of transfers. This isn't what we signed up for. We barely know this coach we're playing for. We've already got the check. Yeah. So.
No, yeah, it's kind of a trap game coming out of West Virginia and right before a bye, before you got kind of a murderer's row of games coming up, and maybe not in level of talent, but at least in importance.
Yeah,
you've got a big 5-game stretch, so it's this game a bye, and then that stretch starts. So. Losing this would be bad on the resume.
Yeah, I mean, so this team doesn't give off any type of like an emotional type of team, because like even they're just not out there, they're enthusiastic, but it's not over the top. So they don't seem like a team that's going to ride the wave, and then try to slide into a game like this. So, yeah.
No, I mean, Iowa State is a very workmanlike, very businesslike team.
Yeah.
I mean, during the week, they say all the right things. They're well coached, well versed. Well spoken. They give everybody their props before and afterwards. So, it's you get no bulletin board material from Iowa State. So yeah, that while it is a trap game, it's hard for me to believe it's going to be a letdown in this game.
Yeah.
This isn't where I would see it. I would see it more like at Cincinnati, coming off of the trip to KC, prior to going to Utah.
Why'd you bring that up? Because Vernon called that. The way he's
but I mean, I still think they're going to win that game. But I mean, that's more of a trap game, I guess, than this one is, especially because you got the bye coming up. It's not like you got another game.
Yeah.
That's why for those people who believe in traps. But no, I'm not. I think Iowa State's going to. I'm really excited to see how the O-line plays coming off of the last game.
Me too. Yes, definitely. And you don't have their defensive stats there by chance, do you? As far as how they are against the run,
what they allow.
Their defense is not great, but
yeah. Well, no, if I take that back, no, it looks like I just have offense.
I mean, if you think about it, William, the biggest story of our Big 12 season so far is how we run the ball.
Yeah. I mean, when we've run it well, I mean, I guess there's been the determination between is it a dominant game or the win.
Yeah. And
how we run it. We've run it well enough to win, but when we've really run that stuff dominant, then it's we manhandle that team.
Yeah. I mean, that's Houston, Baylor, and West Virginia that's what's happened. So,
and let's hope that continues now against UCF.
You got to call them Central Florida. They don't like that.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I'm going to call them? Former national champs, because that's what they like to be referred to.
Dude, they could turn Scott Frost into a national championship coach. Hey, you know.
Oh my gosh! I mean, they'll always just be laughable for that, making banners and stuff like that. It's just.
It's probably a sign. I'm sure there's a sign in the stadium.
I'm sure. It gives me a stomach ache.
Oh, that was another thing.
In 30 years, they'll be commemorating it.
So I turned on that Cincinnati UCF game, and there's it looked like a spring game crowd. You know, people just scattered everywhere. So even their fans have kind of thrown it in.
It ain't gonna look like that this weekend. Is it a color theme?
No. I know the football team put out a tweet or X or whatever you want to call it, saying they're wearing all blacks. So maybe they're throwing it out, just trying to give people.
But I figured they would. I figured this would be the all black game.
Yeah.
Okay. We apologize now, Iowa Hawkeyes. I mean, Jesus. Okay. Can we just say we're sorry and move past the discourse?
Hell, Arizona State's alternates are black and gold.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
My gosh. Wait till they get their cease and desist.
Yeah, no kidding. So
yeah, no, I'm feeling quite good about this game. So good. I'm gonna put it green.
We're feeling it now, aren't we?
Old school pen for all y'all don't remember. Got the multicolor. Found one of these bad boys. Hell yeah! You thought you were the man if you had this bad boy back in the day.
Straight from the
Y'all just don't know.
That's from your 5th grade desk, isn't it?
Just probably. No, I say I ain't like Ronnie Love, but I do say some stuff. I think this is going to be another hard charging, pedestrian, ball running game. So I know. I mean, I still like us to get to the 30s.
Yep.
And so I'm going to go 34 to 13.
I was thinking 34-16.
There you go. Great minds. We will have to get VJs later. I don't believe he texted us. No, he did not. He did not text us his prediction or his MVP, or whether or not we were going to have a slow start. So, my MVP is going to be I'm going to go with the D-line. I'm going with D-line.
I like that.
It seems weird to say you're just going to score 30-something points and I didn't pick a single offensive person.
So, yes, I think I'm going to go with the offensive line again. Kind of on your theme, what you know, that they just keep getting better, and that's when we blow people out. So, I'm gonna roll with the big guys again.
Yeah. Iowa State's going to need to, and if Vern was here, he would pick Iowa State as well. It's hard to pick against them until they lose. But yeah, I don't know where I was going, so I'm just going to say I'm not concerned. I wish I could be, or maybe I should be, but I'm not.
I'll say always concerned, but feel real good about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Not concerned like we're about to play Iowa or West Virginia.
Yeah.
I was more concerned for those guys. But weirdly enough, I felt worse about North Dakota than I do about Central Florida.
Okay.
Because they just, those Dakota schools, we know we got a history there, and they got a history of just mucking it up.
Dude, well, and those North Dakota's kicking ass this year.
So, yeah, not concerned at all. So, yeah, sorry, UCF, we don't believe in you. Unfortunately, we don't buy it. And no offense, but maybe it's the fact that we're 7-0 or 6-0 makes me feel that way. But guess what? If y'all were 6-0, you'd be saying the same thing.
Yep.
So 9. We are ranked number 9 now.
Yep, number 9. We should be against a 3-3 team. We should be predicting these scores. We should feel good about it. So
yeah. But before we get out of here, I would be remiss if I did not celebrate exactly what's going on in Ames right now when it comes to Cyclone sports.
Oh man.
What you have, we'll just use on this day right now is rare. You don't have it where everybody has this. Somebody might have two of them, but people don't have three.
Yeah, it's not rare for Iowa State. It's rare for everyone.
Yeah, it's rare for college sports.
Yeah,
that you have the three big sports of football, men's basketball, and women's basketball. So you have the preseason AP list for the basketball teams and the current AP list for the halfway through the season football team. And Iowa State is the lone school with all three programs in the top 10. So salute to Matt Campbell. Salute to long time Bill Finley, and salute to TJ Olsenberger. Salute to Jamie Pollard. Salute to that department. Salute to those players. Salute to us fans who have stood in with all these years, because I don't like to use the word deserves, but if there's a fan base out there who maybe needs or but deserves, it is this fan base for sticking with.
Yes,
like we mentioned earlier, the Donnie Duncan, the Jim Kreiner, the Jim Waldens. We sat through that. Unfortunately, we went through the we went through our basketball issues with Larry Morgan and Eustace, and it wasn't always great with Finley. It's been decent, but it's never been like this. Men's basketball, we've reached lofty heights before, but I don't think it ever felt like this.
Because there was never an expectation, like it was usually kind of a surprise, I'm sure if we go back and check the history of when we've ever opened the season as number 5 team, but probably never.
I mean, that's a testament to what TJ's done and how he's gotten these transfers, the current players, the high school players to buy in to what it is that he's doing. And Finley, it just keeps on getting better and getting that last, I almost called him a draft class, recruiting class. I mean, Adi Crooks, getting Adi Crooks, I mean, that could go down as being the best recruit Bill Finley's ever got.
Yeah.
And definitely the best class he ever got. I mean, granted, we've lost one from it, but it's still a lights out class.
Yeah.
I mean, the top 2 players from that class are still there, and the way Jackson was playing, she might have passed Bristol. I still think Bristol might end up being the best out of all of them. Depending on how she ends up, but because I thought she was going to be a huge star with her inside-outside ability. But she's gone, and we'll focus on what we've got and what's also coming in. So I mean, on top of the fact you add in the 4th sport, the wrestling team is ranked 4th.
Yep.
And I think the cross country team is ranked top 10 as well. So, you everywhere you look, things are coming up roses, things are coming up cardinal and gold, or black occasionally, because the kids like to wear black
or all white.
Yeah. So I didn't want to leave without touching on that. And it's a good time to be a clone.
So did you see the home whites for the men's basketball?
Yeah, I did see that.
The Hoiberg era with the basketball side on the shorts.
Yeah,
those are good.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's never in my fandom that I think we'd be sitting here talking about something like this.
True.
But yeah, here we are, and woo, I hope everybody lives up to the expectations.
But just like we talked before, like your expectations or whatever, I'm sure like if both those basketball teams don't advance past the Sweet 16, there's going to be people that are disappointed no matter who they beat all season. Whether
Absolutely.
they whatever, So
absolutely.
But no,
I mean, I'll be one of them.
But I was trying to say, but just don't enjoy the season. It's just like don't worry about the expectations,
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
But I mean, it's hard when you go in this highly touted to not think about that. What up, man? Thanks for stopping by. We needed a third.
Oh my gosh, big old.
We appreciate you coming by. Hey, you know what? Somebody might call Peter had you not come by. It'd been like what happened to the cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, VJ's dog won't be here because he won't be on the show.
Yeah.
So
it's been a couple weeks.
No, but yeah, no, it's going to be. We've got a extremely fun next 6 to 7 months ahead of us.
Yes.
There's going to be some highs. There's going to be some lows. There's going to be some stressful moments. There's going to be some over-the-top, exhilarating moments. And I'm here for it. I don't like roller coasters, but I'm here for this one.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm on. Yeah.
I am definitely here for it. So, you know how it goes, baby. Go Cyclones.
Go Cyclones.